Good morning all. So today I am working on my wife's, well it's not my wife's anymore actually, it's her old car. This is my wife's old Renault Zoe. I bought her a new one and now I need to prep this one to sell. But it's got a bit of a reoccurring problem that has now reoccurred and it won't actually go away. The problem this car has is when I open the charging flap, and plug the car on charge, by plugging the charging cable in, whatever socket or outlet I connect it to, whether it be a granny cable for a 3-pin plug, the charger we have at home, like the actual Type 2 charger, or a public charging pole, whatever I plug it into charge, the car trips the breaker or trips the pole or basically just trips the electrics. It happened once or twice and then it went away, so I kind of just did the man thing and ignored it. But now it's come back and it does it all the time, so you literally cannot charge the car now. So I've done a bit of investigation, I've done a little bit of Googling. I don't quite know what it is, so I'm just going to wing it and see how it goes. But if I plug my diagnostics machine into the Renault Zoe, if I clear all the fault codes, when I plug it on charge and it trips, it throws up a code that says lost communication with charging port. So I've bought a second-hand charging port and I'm going to fit it today. The reason why I'm going with the charging port, one, because it throws the code, and secondly, the little door on this one, it broke off a long time ago. It's like broke the bracket, and my wife was using this car for ages without this cover, but this cover's got like a waterproof seal on it, so when it's shut it keeps the moisture out and stuff like that. So I need to change this port anyway, and with the fault code that's coming up, I'm thinking hopefully I can kill two birds with one stone, so I can fix the charging port cover and hopefully stop it from tripping the electrics. I'm up the workshop today purely for the sake of the farm electrics are a bit ropey, so I don't really want to trip them because there's a strong chance I will start a fire. So I'm up at the garage on Saturday. The reason why I'm doing it today is because no one else is here. So I've turned all the computers off because I have got an inline circuit breaker that I've been using with the granny cable. And when it trips, the circuit breaker's not quick enough and it does trip on the fuse board. So I've come into work today, I've turned all the computers off, I've turned everything off that could be damaged, and I'm going to change the charging port today and then try and charge it. If it works, then you know, win-win. If it doesn't work and it trips, I won't turn all the computers off while everyone's working, and hopefully I won't damage anything. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Let's crack on. Oh, I will show you the port. The reason I went for a second-hand charging port, new, they're like £380, and they wasn't in stock. And I do want to sell this car on the hurry up, so I bought a good used second-hand one off of eBay. This cost me £130 delivered. Like I said, I've never fitted one of these before, so I'm just going to be winging it. I'll probably do some things wrong first time round, but you don't know until you have a go. There's a lot going on in these charging ports, by the way. They're not just like a plug and a bit of wire. So obviously the car communicates through the Type 2 charging cable and to the charger. So when you plug it in, they sort of talk to each other first to work out what kind of charger it is, how quick it can charge out and stuff like that. Once it's deemed that the connection's good and the connection's safe, it will then lock the charging cable in, so you can't pull the cable out. There's like a little solenoid on the back there. And then once it's all locked in and it's all safe, then it will start charging the high voltage battery, which sits underneath the Zoe there. When you put a Zoe on a ramp, by the way, you can't just jack up one corner, because if you twist or distort the shell, you run into the danger of actually damaging the traction battery, which sits under the car. So you have to lift them square and as straight as you can. Don't be scared, by the way. I'm not trying to put like the fear into you, but you can jack these up. Just be very, very mindful with the battery under there and where you jack them up. Obviously, I've got 3.5 ton scissor lift with rubber blocks that I can put on the appropriate jacking points to lift the car up straight. So yeah, I'm going to make the car safe. I'll show you how to do that next. Going to get it up on the ramp, and then we're going to have a go at fitting this second-hand charging port. Like I said, not done this before, so let's just wing it and see how it goes. Right, let's crack on. Right, so first things first, got the car on the ramp. As you can see, it's not up in the air or anything, it's just sitting on the ramp. I've disconnected the negative side of the 12 volt battery. If you don't know too much about electric cars. Basically, there's a big battery under the floor. That's called the traction battery. That drives things like the high voltage drive motor. The air conditioning pump also runs off of that. That battery is over 400 volts and it is three phase, so it's quite dangerous. So you need to get yourself a big pair of EV gloves like this. There's the Sealy part number. I know, right? Sealy. That's the Sealy part number. I use these for making the cars safe. You don't really need it for working on the 12 volt system, but more for the high voltage system. First thing you do, disconnect the negative side on the 12 volt system. The 12 volt system controls a lot of the control units that, you know, control the like the contactors in the traction battery and stuff like that. Once you've disconnected that, I've done the very professional thing of wrapping the negative terminal in a microfiber cloth and tucking it to the back there. I should cordon off this area, but I'm just not. So yeah, the key for the car is sat far enough away that the car won't notice the key. So it's sat over in the office. And then if you lift up the driver's mat, there's a little panel. You lift the panel out, and under the panel there is this metal panel. And then under there, you can see is the breaker for the traction battery. So what you do is, with your gloves, push this little tag here, lifts the brake up, and then that shuts down the traction battery, so the car is now safe to work on. I will be double checking everything with a multimeter to make sure that it is powered down, because I don't want to get electrocuted. So yeah, so now technically the car should be safe. Never assume, it should be safe. First thing I'm going to do is take the front bumper off. So from what I can see, the cables run sort of down that way, not quite sure where, but I know it all mounts behind this cover. So for how long it takes me to get the bumper off this car, because I have had it off before, I have changed the aircon pump and done some suspension arms. So I'm just going to take the front bumper off. There's just a load of screws here holding this panel on. It goes down into the inner wheel arch, so if I take the wheels off, it'll give me a bit more room and stuff, and just like the under-train stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Ew. So I got the front bumper off. It was very, very easy. Literally took all them 10 mils out that I showed you, a couple of screws either side, a couple of bolts through the inner wings either side, and you lift it off. There's one multi-plug down here on the near side front. You unplug that. It's for all like the daytime running lights, the solenoid for the flap and stuff like that. This thing is the bane of my life. It's called a noise generator. Last time I worked on this, when I plugged the traction battery back in, this made a horrible sound and scared the absolute bejesus out of me. But yeah, this is what we're going to be changing. As you know, it's quite simple actually. The cable literally runs along here, loops around under there, and plugs in, I believe, here. So this is what I need to unplug and pull all this out. So that's what I'm going to do now. I have checked this port, by the way. I didn't show it on camera, but just used a multimeter to make sure there was no power across the pins. So yeah, let's crack on. So I undone the three little bolts that hold this on. There's a few little bracket bolts up here, another one over at the back there. Just took the bolt out of that. The communication cable comes across to here. I unplugged that. Obviously, as you can tell, I don't always work in the big clumsy EV gloves. I'm just going to take a chance basically. But yeah, I'm going to show you the best of my ability to get it on camera, how you unplug these plugs, because a lot of people do have trouble with them. So let me set the camera up and I will show you. That down a bit. Okay, so there's two things you need to do to get this plug off. First things first, you push down there on the blue tab and then you slide this little blue bit back like that. Once that's slid back, that's the safety lock. Around this side, there is a little button right back here. So what you need to do is then hold that button in. While holding that button in, you need to slide this sleeve this way. So whilst holding that in there, do that and then pull it off. And that's how you unplug it. Jobbed. Bosh, just like that. It's done. Obviously bolt it on, three little torque bits there. Looks alright. You know, like thinking about it, I probably shouldn't recommend buying second-hand parts off of eBay, especially for an EV, you know, electric vehicle. But you don't know till you try, I suppose. So yeah, I'm going to advise that you get this new. If you can't afford new, try second hand at your own risk. Charging port's on. That's a little bolt bracket up there. Another little one there. Bent the bracket back down, plug that back in, plug that in. So now I'm going to put the traction battery back together, or plug it all back in, make the system live and see if it charges. In fact, I'm going to pull the front bumper on as well, because it's going to have to go back on regardless. Yeah. Right, new charging port, well, second hand charging port is in. I'm going to have to clean all this paint off. Old one's down there. I've refitted the breaker in the floor. I've left it all uncovered at the moment, just because if something goes wrong, I can get it very quick. That's my thinking anyway. I'm now going to connect the 12-volt battery, and I want to see if it makes this noise that it made last time and scared the crap out of me. You ready? Hear that? Hear that noise from down there? When it's your first ever time working on an electric vehicle and you're not prepared for that noise, it scares the shit out of you, trust me. Right, I'm going to plug the diagnostics in and make sure there's no fault codes, and then I'm going to try and charge it. I'm going to tighten that terminal as well. Right, so the car's all connected back up, as in the high voltage battery, as you see, and the 12-volt system is all live again. I've lifted the little flap in the center console there to plug in my diagnostic dongle. As said, left all that out. I've turned the ignition on, although I think it's powered down again, but it should be okay. I've got my scanner connected here. I've scanned the whole car, every module, and as you can see in the BCB, which is the battery charging block, basically that's this thing on the top here. This is what it's referred to as. This is like the main brain for everything goes through this top bit here, which sits on top of the motor. As you can see, I've got one fault in this system. If I read the fault code it shows is DTC 066931. Don't know how well you can see that, sorry. And basically the fault code description is charging terminal communication with vehicle. So I'm going to clear that code, and hopefully that code will stay out. I'm now going to reread it. No trouble codes are detected. I am going to come straight back out, right back into the main menu though, and just for good practice, I'm going to reread the whole entire car from start to finish. There you go, 100% of the modules have been read, and as you can see, I have no fault codes. So now, let's try and charge it. A little bit nervous. Right, so I've got the granny cable plugged in up here. This is the control box for the granny cable, just showing you it's powered up. If you don't know what a granny cable is, it's basically one of these. It's just so that you can charge your EV vehicle from a standard 3-pin plug if you can't find type 2 charging. So I'm going to pop the flap. Open the cover and plug it on charge, see what happens. Let's lock the cable in. It's flashing to saying it's doing its checks. Still doing its checks. Oh, charging. Time remaining 6 hours 15 minutes. It's obviously not going to be a quick charge on a 3-pin plug. So what normally happens is I'll put the car on charge. It will charge for maybe 15-20 minutes, and then it will trip the breaker no matter what it's plugged into on charge. So I'm going to leave this on charge here, see what happens. So far so good though, at least it's actually charging. And my second-hand port works, that's also good. I've got the front wheels off this still, because I'm going to be changing the front brake pads, and a little roll bar link on the other side that were advised on the MOT, because I want to get it up to good standard. I'm also going to get 2 new front tyres, because these have worn the inner edge down very low. So 2 front tyres, going to do the wheel alignment, and it'll be ready for sale. So I've changed all the front brake pads, I changed the little link I said I was going to change. I moved it off the ramp to over here because I've got some other stuff over there to be getting on with. It's been on charge for about an hour and it's charged good. It's only got 4 hours 50 minutes left till it's fully charged, so we're at 74%, and it hasn't tripped the breaker, which is really good because it hasn't charged like this in months. So I'm going to say that's jobbed. I'm happy with that. That is about it for this video. Like, share, subscribe. Cheers guys, bye.